My name is Rihanna Putnam, and I'm the Community Engagement Specialist for the Citizen Science Association. Appreciate everyone joining us today to learn more about how to share your poster at the CitSciVirtual event. We're really excited to be moving forward with some of this and to get more of you in the platform. We also have on with us right now Abigail Hills and Thomas Tissue, who are two of our poster co-chairs and helped us with the big lift of getting all of our posters reviewed and have really helped shape the conference. So very appreciative to them. I also see Allison Kaywood just jumped on. She's our CitSciVirtual program chair. And we're also expecting Liv Vega, who's our CitSciVirtual event coordinator. And so if you get emails from the CitSciVirtual event team, it is somebody from this group. And just keep your eye out for emails that are coming from CitSciVirtual@citizenscience.org. We will be sharing updates about the event as they go on. So just an overview of what we're going to discuss today. We'll give a brief overview. Most of you are pretty familiar if you're presenting on what CitSciVirtual is. Talk a little bit about some of the logistics, go through what the components look like, an overview of them, and then also a step-by-step demo, which is what I expect a lot of you are here for, is to figure out how you're going to upload your poster and what it's going to look like. We also will do an overview of what our collaborative sessions are going to look like and give you a few more details on that, and then just give some reminders and important dates to keep in mind. So CitSciVirtual event registration is now live. I hope many of you have taken the opportunity to register. If you haven't, you can find that information on the website, and I suggest that you do that soon. You will not receive access to the CSA Connect platform until after you've registered. And so if you are planning on, or suggest you do that soon so that way you can maximize the time that you have in the platform. If you have any questions about that, you can email us and you can find out more information about registration on the website. We also have been announcing some more event details on the website, and you can find a overview calendar of events. We're hoping to have an interactive calendar coming out soon, so you can start saving some things to your personal calendar. But you can see here some of the poster collaborative session times. We have a lot of them. We're really excited to be able to share so many different topics and to hear from all of you in those. And you can see we have keynotes, special networking events, plenaries, all sorts of things. So more on the calendar coming soon. And yeah, with that we will be sharing some more deadlines and things on the calendar, but things to keep in mind is that we are hoping to have all of our presenters in CSA Connect and uploading soon, and then event attendees will be allowed into CSA Connect closer to the event time, about a week before. And so you guys have this kind of early sneak peek at the platform and can get all of your materials in there early. And then in May is when all of the attendees and everybody will have access to all of that. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it over to Abigail real quick, and she's going to kind of walk us through some of the poster components and what you can expect those to look like, and just to give you another refresher on what those components are.
Thanks. So you guys have received the actual email about all the different components that you're supposed to have in your poster toolkit. And then we'll also go through the whole demo of how to do it. But this is a friendly reminder. So there's technically 5 big components to your poster itself. The first one is the poster article. So this is the main page. Then you have your thumbnail image, which makes sure it pulls someone in. It's supposed to be exciting, trying to get someone to actually see it. There's also the downloadable PDF, and then optional of the audio video feed that you can actually provide as well with your poster. And then the final piece that is the reason why we built it is it's supposed to be this interactive piece, which is your discussion feed board. So we'll walk through little pieces of it as we go. So if you go to the next slide. So the first part is the poster article. This is the first thing that you guys will do when you actually enter the space. And so I'm reminding you all here first, it's posted by the person who had submitted the proposal. So each of you had received that email from us. And so that's whoever is going to go online and submit it. And so you can also then, after you created it, tag other authors who also could be attending the conference. It's similar to all the social media platforms where it's an @ sign to tag any of the authors. And then similar to what you've also submitted, you have your summary abstract as well as any text or images you want to add here. Keep in mind that you don't have to copy and paste exactly the abstract that you submitted. If you have refined it a bit more, you're more than welcome to put a little bit extra onto here, or if there's results or things that you've gotten. So then the next part of it is the actual thumbnail image of your poster. So this will, again, you'll see, but just as a reminder, it's a JPEG, please, of an 800 by 600 pixel. And then the resolution, make it high because we want to be able to see it. And so everyone can actually have some attention drawn to it. But then the additional piece that you'll have is when you can give an optional PDF download, which then you'll see also, you'll have the high quality poster file at the top. Please make sure that your PDF is 25 megabytes or smaller. And it is a downloadable link. So once you click on it, it becomes it'll download automatically. An additional file that some of you have said you are actually going to do is create an audio or video attachment with your poster. And so this, keep in mind, we had said up to 3 minutes. And so try to make each slide quicker than what you typically do during a conference. This is supposed to get people to draw attention to your poster, but then have more discussions with you later on. Thanks, Liz. We'll address your questions soon. Then the other part with your audio file is it goes to the YouTube or the Vimeo channel, and you'll provide that link instead of actually posting something into the form. The final component then is the discussion feed. So the next slide is where this is kind of the interactive piece where even if people aren't at the conference the day like currently with you, people can ask you questions. And so this is your opportunity to have a ask and answer, as well as you can provide additional resources throughout it. One of my favorite things is you can like different things, and that gives you the ability to interact with more and more people as you go. So don't just look at your board, also go to other people's discussion feeds, because that's where more of this interactive piece comes into play when it comes to the online community.
Great. And I see a couple of questions in the chat that I think we can address real quick before we move into the demo. And so Janet asked about is the person that submitted the abstract, but not the person presenting, has to upload the poster. We just want one poster per submission. And so whoever is the primary author on the poster ideally would be the one to upload the article. You can tag or list as many authors as you would like. And so I know that several people have requested author changes. That can be fluid, and that's something that you guys have the ability to change on your own in the article when you're authoring it. When you tag somebody, the nice thing about that, and I'll show this in the demo, is that it connects back to their profile on CSA Connect. And it also will give them ability to have notifications. So we will get into some more of these details, and I do want to address some questions in the end. If you have some big questions, if you can put them in the Q&A tool, we'll pull that up at the end and try to address some of the overarching ones. We will also be flagging questions and adding them to the FAQ page on the website, and then there will also be the opportunity to attend some open office hours in April. So if you're running into so that can help you troubleshoot, or if you have some like really specific questions about your poster and your project, that would be the place to do it. But folks that have general questions, hopefully we'll address some of those in the demo, and then we'll have some time at the end for questions as well. So I'm going to switch my screen share here. Great. Okay, so later this week, if you have already registered for the CitSciVirtual event, you will receive a link from us that will give you access to the CSA Connect site. And so when you click through to that link, it'll bring you to this page, and you can click from here, you can click access. And here it'll take you to a page to create an account. And so I'm just going to create a test account just to show everyone how to do this. So this page can be a little confusing because it prompts you to continue with Google or Facebook, and you do not have to connect that way. We suggest that you use the email address that you registered with just to keep it consistent. And to do that, you'll want to click next, and then you can enter in whatever email address you have that you would like to use. Doesn't like my test password. Okay. And then from there, you'll create an account. This is a free portal. This link will be unique to you. Confirm free access. And I'm walking you through this because we have recently launched this site with our members, and I know some people have gotten tripped up on where to enter in their email. And so that's how you will do that. And so after you have created your account in CSA Connect, you will be in the platform. And so what's nice about CSA Connect on the main platform, there's a home feed that will kind of introduce you to what's been shared recently. There are a series of welcome articles, including our community guidelines that we suggest everybody reads through. These are a collaborative document. And so if there are things that you would like to add, we can post those in the comment. And so I encourage you to look at that. And there's also an article on what to include in your profile. One thing that I really suggest all presenters do is make sure to edit and update your profile and include in a short about you that you're a poster presenter so that folks can see at a glance what role you have with the event. You can also link to your poster and all of that in your profile. So from here, in addition to the CSA Connect network, you will also have been added to this CitSciVirtual group. And this right now is currently only open to registered presenters. And so you'll only see this group if you are registered. Inside of this group right now, it's mostly just some help articles that I have added, but eventually this feed will be full of your posters. And this is where all of the activities for the event are going to be housed. So in this events tab, this is where folks will go to find links for their collaborative sessions, for your collaborative sessions, for keynotes, for the special networking events. And then here in topics is where people can go to search for posters. And so we have created all of these groups based off of the categories that your collaborative sessions are broken down by. And we will be sending out an email later this week that will have what topic that you would need to select in your article. And this is based mostly off of how you were grouped in a collaborative session. And so there are two ways that from here we can add an article. One is by clicking into the topic. I'm going to work out of this presenter resources topic, but you would click on whichever topic is assigned to your poster. From here, you will click this plus sign up in the corner and you'll create an article. A quick post is if you want to share something, a quick question, a comment, a link to something, but an article is how we're going to be formatting your poster. And so if you review the poster toolkit, you'll see a little bit more about how to add and edit things. As Abigail mentioned, the first thing that we'll do here is we'll add our title. Give me just a second. And then you add your authors below that. And then you can tag people. So this was authored by Jennifer Shirk, Rick Bonney, and there's a few others. I'm using a poster that Jennifer Shirk, our executive director, made several years ago as a demo here. And then you can add in your abstract. And a lot of this you can do just by copying and pasting. And so I believe I saw in the chat or Q&A before I had to close out of those boxes to do the screen share, somebody had asked about how would you share this if it was slides. You can copy and paste a lot of the information directly into the article, which I think is a great strategy. And I would encourage everyone to think about doing that in large part because it's very mobile friendly. It's going to be the most readable way that somebody can approach your poster. And so you can create your poster in any platform you want. We've given options for if you want to use story maps, or if you want to create a PowerPoint, or if you want to do something that's more designed in InDesign or in or a more traditional poster format. You can format it however you want, but thinking about the attendee experience and the best way for them to digest the information from it, also including at least some of the key points as text directly in the article, I think will help with the overall readability of your poster. So from here, you can add in an abstract. We talked about adding those thumbnail images. And so from here, you can do a quick insert with that plus sign. And to add images, you'll want to add them using the photos. And so even if it's not a photo, even if it's just a JPEG you have saved on your computer, even if it's a screenshot of something, you'd still add it as a photo. And so here is what I'm using as the thumbnail image for this poster. It's just a screenshot of part of a larger poster, a more traditional poster that was created for an in-person conference. So it's just some representative image, maybe with some background text, maybe not, but this is what's going to show up on the preview of your poster in the topic and in the discussion feed. So you do want something, the first image that you post in here should be smaller, should be eye-catching, should be representative of your overall poster. From there, you can either add a divider, you can add a heading, you can format these however you want. There's lots of formatting options that you can do, and you can really make this your own. You can copy and paste some text. So here's an example of one of the sections. And so this I have formatted as a header, and then this is the first half of the poster document. And so again, this is just one option. I would suggest pulling some of your text. It's up to you. We're not trying to be overly formulaic with this, but just know that this is a great tool, and this is going to be the primary way that a lot of people are going to be reading your poster. So in addition to the thumbnail image, we had talked about uploading the full poster, and you can do that. Let me see. This one. No, this is just another one of the pictures. I can show you in another place where we have the full poster. But as somebody mentioned in the questions, you can't, or the file size can be kind of small for a very graphic heavy big poster. And so the only way to get around that is you have to attach big poster files as a PDF. And one disclaimer about this is this makes it so your poster can be downloaded by anyone. And so if you are wanting to share your poster this way, and if you want to do the more graphic heavy design, you could maybe look at breaking it down into several smaller images that you can piece together and add in the article itself, or just you can have a disclaimer, but just know that anything that is downloaded off of the CSA Connect site, we no longer have the ability to monitor that. And so you need to be comfortable with people downloading that and potentially sharing it. Let me see, what other components are we missing here? So again, here I copied and pasted the text from this poster document. Here we go. Here's the file. I think I just didn't have it in my other one. And so you can see here, this is a JPEG file of the full poster. And this is, again, a more traditional poster design. But when you insert it in as an image, it gets really hard to read. And so just think really critically about readability and the different ways that you might be able to present this information. If you already have worked up a poster like this, you're welcome to share it like this, but I would pull some of the text and images below as well. And so this isn't as readable because it's a smaller file. This one, if we were to click this, once I post it, you'd be able to zoom in, and it would be a document that would allow you to read that smaller text on a computer. But there are some cons to putting in a downloadable PDF that you'll want to think about. And all of this is in the toolkit as well. And so if you have any additional questions about how to do that. Okay, so the other components that you can add are the audio and video file. And apologies, I see questions coming in the Q&A tool. I currently can't see them, and so I will go back and address them after I'm done screen sharing. So here we can and these videos are meant to be short, no more than 3 minutes, just walking people through your poster components. It can be just a short overview. You can read through different sections if you would like that. I think that this can be really engaging and something that you might want to consider, but again, it's something that is optional and up to you. And so we've included this in the toolkit, and I'm sure folks will have some questions on this. But the video, you cannot just upload a MP3 or MP4 file if you download it from Zoom, or you have to upload it via YouTube or Vimeo if you're more comfortable with that. But there are instructions in the toolkit on how to do that, and this can be something we can address in the open office hours. I'm not going to go through explicitly how to upload a video into YouTube, but just know that there are instructions for that. And so once you have uploaded your video in YouTube and you're ready to share it, you can get the link to that YouTube video. And then you'll want to share that as a video link here. And so again, that's going to that plus sign. And then that's the second one. This is video link. And from there, you can paste your link. It'll pull up a thumbnail. If you don't like whatever image that it pulled, you can change that and maybe make it the thumbnail image of your poster. And then you hit save. And then it embeds a video directly in your article. And so the same thing for an audio file. If you were to do that, I think you would upload it as a file that way. Or if there's a link to something on SoundCloud or some other site, you can upload it that way. And then the last thing that we're encouraging everyone to do is to post a question at the bottom for discussion. And so I would suggest doing this as a heading, asking your question. You can bold it, you can turn it into a quote, you can give it some formatting, something so it stands out. And then this will be a prompt for people to engage in the discussion feed. And so here, let's look at our checklist. So we have our title, our authors, and our abstract. Those are kind of the backbone of your article. We have our thumbnail image that is smaller and eye-catching and representative. You can have an image file of your poster, however you formatted it. You can have some of the text copied from your poster directly into the article with images. And these can be formatted lots of different ways so they line up. And then you can have the optional PDF download if you have a larger file size, a video, and then lastly, a question to encourage folks to engage in the discussion feed. Okay, so I have all my components in some form here, and then we hit post. Because I posted from the topic itself, it did not prompt me to choose a topic. If I would have posted from the main activity feed, you can either add your topic here, and it would give you the option to choose from those topics, or when you click post, it will prompt you to post with a topic, and then you would pick from here. And so presenter resources, post. It often prompts you to notify everybody in the group. Not sure why it didn't for that. I believe there's an image of that in the toolkit. But if it prompts you to notify everybody in the group, please select no, because when you go to post your article, it will just be the presenters in the space. And so we don't want to spam the presenters every time a new article is posted. And so click don't notify and just know that people will be able to find your poster by searching in the topics. And so all of these things that I have shared today, this is that quick one that I just did from the main page. It still shows up in that topic. This is the demo one that I did just now with everybody live on the call today. Here's a demo that I did earlier. And then I also pulled some of the pieces from the toolkit directly into CSA Connect, so you can find those while you're here. You don't have to exit out of the platform to view that. The other thing that we wanted to point out is the option for the discussion feed. And so two ways, there's a few different ways that we people can engage with your poster. They can comment from here, from just looking at the abstract and the overview. They can share something. They can cheer it, which is giving it a heart. They can tag. So I can say, Jennifer Shirk, I have this question. And then you can ask a question that way. And whenever somebody gets tagged, so if you're the presenter of this and somebody tags you, you'll get an email notification and you'll be drawn back into the platform and you can answer that. And so you can click reply here and it can thread that question. And so if you have multiple authors that might have different takes on that question, they can all respond or different people can follow up. You can follow up with photos, links to videos. You can embed a link to a web page if you have a project page. And you can also attach files right here in the discussion feed. And so there's a lot of opportunity to engage with members, or not with members, with attendees in the discussion feed. And so we encourage you to be really active and attentive to that. And the more that you post and respond in the discussion feed, the higher up in most people's activity feeds your poster will come. And so this is the one that I posted yesterday, but it's showing up as top of the activity feed because there's a new comment on it. And so part of the reason that we bring up the discussion feed is because this is another way that you can increase visibility for your poster, as if you are having active discussions in the discussion feed, it will bring it into people's activity feeds and they would be more likely to see it versus having to go and search it out. So those are the main components in CSA Connect. The other thing I wanted to point out is if you start an article and you're not ready to publish it, it will save it as a draft. And this saves automatically. And so if you accidentally exit out or you get kicked out for some reason, your computer dies, and you want to come find that article again, you don't have to start over. You would go, this will likely have your picture in it after you've uploaded and added to your profile, and you can click on your drafts. And from there, you'll see the test draft. And then you can click on it and edit it and go through all the steps that we just talked about. Okay, I'm going to stop my screen share so I can see the Q&A. Or actually, yeah, let's answer a few questions about this. Let's take about 10-15 minutes and we'll answer some questions about the components in CSA Connect. And then I'm going to turn it over to Liv to talk about the collaborative sessions, and then we'll end on deadlines. Okay. I see there's a lot of questions in the chat. I'm gonna focus on the ones in the Q&A tool, and if you want to pop them in the Q&A tool, it'll be easier for me to answer them. Okay, so Sean asked if the intention with the JPEG and PDF is identical with their content, just different file formats. That is correct. The JPEG you can upload as a photo in CSA Connect, and you can post it directly in the article itself, but it's often not high enough resolution and you can't zoom into it. With the PDF, it would download or open in a new screen and people can zoom in. And so if you have small text, I would suggest doing both. The PowerPoint templates were just an option. That's one way to present your poster, and that's also a good way if you're thinking of doing a video component. That just might be one way to organize your poster. Yeah, I see that question kind of answered twice. Okay, so the best way to upload story maps, you would just provide a link to that, and you can embed a link. And if it's helpful for me to show you how to do that, I can. But just know that if you click that plus button, it will give you the opportunity to embed a link, and then it'll pull up a preview of the web page. So the link or to your story map would show up in your article. But again, I would suggest if you are using story maps to pull some of the content and some of the images into the article itself. So that way people have enough information that they would want to click in and go over to the story map. But story maps are great. And if it's something you're comfortable with and have the ability to use, go for it, and you can find a way to embed it. And if you have specific questions or run into problems doing that, come to one of the open office hours and we can help you with that. So as far as I just created that group. After the event today, we'll go through and add folks to that group. Unfortunately, our system isn't as automated as we had hoped, and so we're going to be having to do that a little bit. There might be a little bit of a lag, and so if you can give us up to 48 hours after you register to get you added to that group, just look for another email from CitSciVirtual@csaconnect.org, and it'll include the link that will take you to that access page. And then once you have access to CSA Connect, go into groups and you'll find that CitSciVirtual group. Yes, the article is the whole poster, and you can pull your components out in a variety of different ways. And so, yeah. We do not currently have templates set up. The only thing with the template, the poster committee created a slide deck that kind of walks you through what might be good to include. And you can find that in the poster toolkit. But the CSA Connect platform is very intuitive. There's already great headings. Like you're not going to have to do a ton of formatting. You can just pick one heading type and then change that for all of your headings. If you have headings already created, if you're typing this in a Word doc or a Google Doc, when you copy and paste it, if you already have those headings in whatever word processor you're using, when you copy that into CSA Connect, it will automatically format those as headings. And so you're not going to have to duplicate a lot of that work. You should just be able to copy and paste most of this from another platform. Again, all of the components listed, abstract, PDF, video file, etc., are all within the article. And so this article is the place for your poster. The other thing, we'll talk about this more in just a moment when we talk more about the collaborative session. We can, if you're in a collaborative session, you can include a link to that event, and within the event for your collaborative session will also be a link to your poster article. And so we're trying to connect both of those because they are connected. QR codes in your video, is that okay? I'm not sure how to answer that as far as adding QR codes in addition to your PDF or video. Is that just to redirect somebody? This is an anonymous question. I think I have it enabled to where you can, here, I just enabled it so you can comment. If you want to comment on some clarifications on that, on how you expect to use that. I'm not sure if it would be necessary to do that. You can always link out to additional PDFs or videos. You can include more of those, or a link to your website, a link to your project site, those kinds of things. You can include that in your article about your poster. Yes, you can use a Prezi video. You just have to upload it in CSA Connect. It all has to be in your article. You can only tag the topic that you are assigned. Even if your poster might fit into multiple, it only allows you to select one topic. And so please use the one that is emailed to you, because that is the one that will be connected to your collaborative session if you are presenting in a collaborative session. You get a direct link to your poster. After it is published, you can, when you open that poster in a tab, and I can show this, I will go back in and show a couple of things in CSA Connect and screen share in just a minute. I will show you how to get a direct link to your poster. And then that link will only work for people who are registered for the event and already in CSA Connect. And so you could not share that direct link with people who are not attending the event. But it is how we will link to your poster in email communications about the event and within the CSA Connect site itself. If the video is hosted on your organization's website, you could definitely link to that. That is fine. If you want the video embedded so that people can just click play from CSA Connect, I would suggest linking to the original video, video someplace. CSA Connect can only embed videos from YouTube and Vimeo. We are going to change who can author articles at the end of the upload period. And so you have up until April 19th to make any changes to your article. But during the conference, if you have any corrections or additions to add to your poster, you can do that in the comments. But we are trying to keep those static during the month. We will be sharing. Yes, so Carmen asked about, can you build your article over time? You'll do that by accessing the drafts. And so you can draft it, start it in draft form and come back and check the recording for where to access drafts. And that might be something, I think that's in the toolkit as well. Conversations about poster content. You can, if you have a really specific question, I would suggest submitting it in the Q&A form, which I'll link to in the chat. And then also attending the open office hours, we will be able to address more personal questions about your posters in those open office hours as time allows. And then Eva asks, if you are already in CSA Connect as a member, you will not need to create a different account. We will have a separate link for members that would just grant you access to the CitSciVirtual group. Someone's asking about multiple authors. If you want the authors to be a part of the conversation around your poster, if you want them to be able to answer questions, to see the poster content, to engage with people, they will have to register. Each And if you want them, yes. And so if you want them to be a part of your poster, they do have to register. If there are people, students, volunteers, project partners that you want to acknowledge as an author, but they might not find value in the whole conference, they do not have to register for you to acknowledge them. But if you want them to have that interactive element, we will want them to register. You cannot share the join link with anybody. Okay, and I think that covers almost all of them, all of these questions. And so I do want to give time for Liv to go over the different components of the collaborative session and to answer some questions about that. And know that if you have additional questions, you can submit them in the question form, and that we will be having some open office hours scheduled throughout April where you can pop back in and ask more questions. Okay. And with that, I'm going to pull back up some slides so I won't be able to see questions anymore. And then we'll have a little bit more time at the end.
And I'm ready, Rihanna, whenever you are. I just need to be able to share my video if that's possible.
Oh, sorry, Liv, you joined.
No, it's okay.
Joined a little late.
Great job.
Let me do that real quick and then I will start the screen share. All right. Liv, you should be good to turn on your video. And
okay. Hi, everybody. I am Liv Vega, and I don't know if the collaborative sessions is super exciting. So my name is Liv Vega. I'm the events coordinator that's helping to pull together all the, especially the live pieces. So one huge thing that the planning team and all the committees have really dedicated to this event is that we want each live experience to be interactive and engaging and fun. So what we've done with these collaborative sessions is they're all around a theme, and you'll be grouped in with about 9 or 10 other poster presenters and authors. And it's going to be an hour event in Zoom, and it'll be in meetings. So everybody will be able to see each other's videos, but participants will be muted, but be able to engage in the chat. There will be a CSA facilitator that will, after the intro, which I'll describe, will be asking a few questions of all of you amazing presenters. And it really is meant to be a discussion. There'll also be the opportunity potentially for breakout rooms if organically the event feels like that there wants to be a different type of conversation. But we really have looked at this hour as a way to take this wonderful asynchronous material and your posters and make it into a really engaging event. So part of that, as Rihanna had mentioned in the toolkit, we were able to extend the 30-second video that we're going to use at the beginning of these events for you till Monday, the 29th. And we'll be sending out an email tomorrow, I believe, that has the Google Drive folder where you should upload your video. So again, the videos we want to be 30 seconds long. And if you can film them horizontally, you can use Zoom to film them. You can use your phone, whatever works best for you. And then we ask that you state your name and who you work with, your organization, or the project that you're working with. And also share what your poster is in your 30-second video and a question that you're interested in hearing, kind of like we talked about the question at the end of your article. And basically that's it. And then I'm asking everyone to save it with your name and title, and then the title of your poster, and then what session you are. So as an example, Dr. Jennifer Shirk, who did the poster that we looked at, and her poster title, and then it would be session 5B. and you upload that. And what we're going to do is at the very start of every poster session, the live session, is we will have an opening slide. So if you could make sure that one, if you could wear the same outfit that you wear when you do your 30-second poster presentation, it makes a really big difference in the live event of kind of keeping everybody's brain in the same wavelength. If you could wear the same outfit the day of the live event, be there half an hour early just so we can do sound checks and make sure you look and sound great. You will be in before any of the attendees arrive. We'll have a waiting room set up for them. And then what will happen is we will take all of the videos of the 9 to 10 presenters and put them all together. And so the beginning will be just kind of a chat with everybody and a slide that will welcome people as they attend or start arriving into the live event, the attendees. And then what will happen is we will play an introductory video and then all of your videos together, the 30-second videos. So the reasoning for this was we wanted to make sure that if people had just joined the event series the day before or just decided to attend, that they would have a basis of what you would be talking about and presenting, and then also hopefully give them the impetus to look at your posters. We're also hoping to share the links to your poster in the live session. So as your video is going on, we're able to share the links to your poster. But the cool thing about CSA Connect and also these events is everything is connected together. It all lives together. So for the whole month, you'll really be able to get this rich interaction in your own time and then through these live events. We are hoping to record the live events, which should be more of a conversation among all of you in your collaborative session that's led. And then people who are not able to attend the live session will be able to review it later. So as Rihanna had mentioned, we will also have office hours. And so we will be emailing those out, but I do have the dates of them of Thursday, April 8th at 11 a.m., Wednesday, April 14th at 11 a.m., and Friday, April 23rd at 11 a.m. I know we're throwing a lot of dates and a lot of deadlines at you. And the good thing about this is that we're trying to do everything in the back end to make it as smooth as possible for you, the presenters, when the events are live, when people are looking at your articles for the entire month of May, and also for the live sessions, that everything happens seamlessly. But the planning team and I will be available throughout the month and leading up to it. So we just want to make sure that you have a wonderful and positive experience, and that during the live event that you have everything you need to have a meaningful, once in a lifetime talk with people in a similar themed poster group as you. I think that's it for the live session discussion. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, and just to reiterate and stress, and I know that we've said this in the email conversations, these collaborative sessions aren't going to be you presenting on your poster. These collaborative sessions are going to be moderated, where the moderator will come in with some questions, and it's an opportunity for you to connect and share with other poster presenters. And so if you were thinking of these as an overview of your poster, maybe think about doing that as an audio or a video supplement to your poster article, and just know that these will be an opportunity for dialogue, and also in thinking about your intro video, that 30-second intro video is not going to be the full overview of your poster. 30 seconds isn't very long. And so Liv gave some great prompts and some text in the toolkit. And so if you're struggling to think about what do I include, look in that toolkit, and there's a few examples of how you might phrase that 30-second intro. And so that's the first big deadline that we have coming up. For presenters, if you know of any poster, well, I guess the second one, if you know of any people that weren't able to get their abstract in on time or might be interested in presenting a poster, we are doing a deadline for late breaking posters. These will be asynchronous only, and so these will be just the poster materials in the article. But if you know of somebody that would like to present in order to attend the conference, let them know that they can do that. They just have to submit by Sunday. And then on Monday, March 29th is when those 30-second videos will need to be uploaded. We'll be sharing the links to those folders tomorrow. And so be on the lookout for that. And you can upload those anytime between tomorrow and Monday. You will have between when you register, a day or two within when you register, until the 19th to upload all of your materials and your article. And then the week before the event is when all of the attendees that were not presenters will be added to that CitSciVirtual group. And then on May 3rd is when our events start. And so people might start commenting on your poster early. People will have the ability to view the poster components as soon as they're in that group. There isn't a way to close those off until May 3rd, but you're not responsible or beholden to responding to comments and things until the actual events start. So just a few days to keep in mind, and we will be communicating hopefully weekly with everyone to make sure that none of these dates come up as a surprise, and we'll follow up with those office hours so you'll have more opportunities to ask questions. So I'm going to stop share real quick so I can see questions.
One more thing about the saving of your poster. There are very clear instructions, and we'll include this tomorrow too, but you know how you save it. So your name and title and your poster, that's how it'll appear in a lower third. So on your video, we will be putting basically your title on the screen as well. So just make sure as you're saving it that everything is spelled correctly, looks great, because that's what our videographer will be doing to help make you guys look awesome. So thank you. I just wanted to point that out.
Great. And this is something that we will confirm in an email on exactly what you need to include in that, because that might be different than what is in the toolkit. And so we will make sure just when you get that email tomorrow that has the link to the folder, just pay attention to what needs to go into that file title, because that is how they'll be pulling it. Great. So it looks like we have answered most of the questions. I'm sure there will be others. Let me pull the link up really quick to the Q&A page, which is also in the toolkit. I'm going to link first to the toolkit and then to the Q&A page. So the toolkit has everything that we discussed today. You will find in text format. And so that's a great place to start. And I would suggest really digging into that. And hopefully a lot of your questions can be answered from there. If you have other questions, your next line or next place to go with questions is this question form. We'll be pulling common questions into responses or common threads, and we'll add them to this frequently asked question page on our website. Great, and appreciate everybody being on today and asking such thoughtful questions. We really look forward to seeing what you have to share. We think this is a really fun virtual format for posters, and hope you do too. And again, reach out if you have questions, and we will be sharing a link to this recording. We'll upload it on the FAQ page, and then we'll also include it in the email that's going out tomorrow with more collaborative session details. Great, I'm going to stop the record. If anybody has any other questions,